Right.
Coach, the same thing. Just how difficult was it when Rachel was hurt and you knew she wasn't going to be able to come back, and how much you had to adjust to finish the season?
Yeah. Well, we lost an All-American, and you know, at the stage that we lost her, I think that's where we were challenged the most. It's not as if we lost her prior to the start of the season or very early in the season where we had a lot of non-conference opponents to get adjusted. And so losing her, you know, 2/3 of the way through the season, and we've played the last 10 games without her, is, you know, with very little opportunity to practice because of the way the Big Ten schedule falls. We just, our games are so condensed, and so we just haven't had a lot of practice opportunities without her up until here recently, which I think has been a good thing. And so that's the challenge I think we faced. You know, not only were we losing overall our best player, but at the point that we lost her, I think that's where we were challenged.
Coach, I was just curious, sort of the same question I asked your players, just your overall thoughts of being in this sub-regional. Obviously, the 8-9 game is a tough game as it is, evenly matched teams, and then if you are lucky enough to advance, most likely get a 1 seed. So how do you feel like it shaped out in your overall reaction to having to come here in this sub-regional?
I'm just glad we're here, and I'm happy to be playing in the NCAA tournament. I think we all feel that way. 10 games ago when Rachel goes down, you know, I think there was a lot of question whether we would be playing in the NCAA tournament, and we knew we had, you know, some ground to make up and had to continue to win some games. And so, you know, we anticipated that this is, you know, approximately the seed we'd have, whether it was a, you know, 8, 9, 10, something in that range, and you know, that first game's going to be incredibly difficult because of, I think, 2 teams that are, like you said, are very evenly matched. And then, you know, if you can find a way to get by a great team in Syracuse, we'll take it how it goes on Sunday. And we haven't even, you know, given a true thought about that. We'll worry about that and be happy about that if the time comes.
Question in the back.
Coach, I know you're probably so focused on Syracuse, but have you thought at all about this possibly being the 4 seniors' last games, and any extra sentimental that you get at all this week?
Yeah, I literally, and I'm not a super sentimental person, but I get, we walked off the court yesterday at our training complex in our practice facility, and I watched those 4 guys walk off the court, and I'm thinking, you know, that might be the last time that those guys have practice here. And, you know, they've meant so much to our program, and, you know, there's no other class has done what they've done. They've won 96 games in the course of their careers, and they've been to 4 consecutive NCAA tournaments, and they have competed for 3 conference championships and won 1. And so they've meant a lot to our program, and they're all really good people and kids that have worked really hard, and we've demanded a lot of them, and they've met every challenge. And so I did get, you know, a little teary-eyed when I watched those 4 walk off yesterday.
Question in the back.
Connie, you mentioned your seniors and the I guess the uncertainty that when Rachel went down, where you guys would be. How much of that gap did you kind of lean heavily on your upperclassmen to kind of fill? Did you have to do you and your assistant have to do anything special to kind of get everybody moving forward on the same?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously we have 4 seniors who start, so each of them had to, you know, take on like as Emily said, a little bit greater role. I think Emily was a real key for us. You know, she has always been a kid who has played in a secondary role and has never wanted to be that scorer, but she has here recently had a greater mentality in that area, and has been important. It's been important for her to score for us, and of course, you know, those other 3 kids have continued to do great things, especially defensively and rebounding wise, and then I think Natalie Romeo's emergence in our starting lineup, and she's got more confidence now, and that's typical of a freshman to be playing with more confidence as the season goes on. But you know, I think she's more comfortable in her role. So it's, I think, you know, as Emily said, it's been a collective effort, and we by no means are quite the same team that we were without her, but we, you know, have done enough to put ourselves in this position.
Question on the back right on camera.
Coach, mine's kind of a 2-parter. First off, just your general impressions of Syracuse.
Oh, I can't do 2-part questions. I'm sorry. Okay. No, just
1.5. Your initial impressions of Syracuse and
Yeah.
what you think they do well, and also can you speak to kind of the similarities that both of your teams have gone through this year? And
Yeah.
you guys lost your top player, and
Right.
Syracuse
Right.
lost their leading score from
Right.
last year, plus their top bench score.
Sure. It's a two-part question. So the first question about Syracuse, you know, when I've watched them here, you know, really gotten a pretty good feel for them in all the film that we watched. They're very tenacious, very aggressive. They compete very, very hard, and they're a team that, you know, relies heavily on, you know, their defense and their full court pressure and to turn you over. I just think it's a very rare stat when you see a team average 18 offensive rebounds and also shoot 26 threes a game. I mean, you don't. You know, I've coached a lot of games. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. And then I think, you know, you can start when you talk about Syracuse, you start with their defense and the way they turn you over. So. I believe, you know, in order for us to win the game, we're going to have to do what I call take care of the elephants, and that is take care of the big things. And you have to rebound. You have to do, you know, you've got to box out, you got to rebound, and then you also have to do a great job of taking care of the ball because of the way they play their defense and how aggressive they are. So I'm very impressed by how hard they play and how hard they compete. And that second part question, I didn't write it down, but I actually remember it now that you're saying it. The second part question is, you know, the Sykes kid. I mean, I watched her. I was on the USA basketball committee, and I had a chance to watch her a little bit at a younger age, and very impressive, and obviously a big blow to their program, and you know, just a tough deal where a kid tears the same ACL, you know, twice in, you know, that less than a year, and then lose Henderson, you know, here recently, and obviously, you know, they had a little more time to adjust without Sykes, but, you know, to adjust without Henderson maybe is a little different kind of situation. But, you know, I think Syracuse is a deep team in that they can take it, you know, still play really good basketball without, you know, their third leading scorer.
Any more questions?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.